basically is like, it's a part of our life. You know what I mean? The minute you are born, you breathe, and you breathe until the moment that you die. So your breath is something that is with you for your entire life. The main purpose of breathing, though, is to put oxygen into your bloodstream and remove carbon dioxide. So when you're breathing in and you're putting the oxygen into your bloodstream. And when you breathe out, you're breathing out the carbon dioxide. But breath work in itself, it's a huge aspect of self-care and personal growth. So there's a few different types of breath work that you can do. Like there is breath work practices that you can put into place. But when you're breathing deeply and you're going into that space where you're really concentrating on your breath, what you can do is you can activate your parasympathetic nervous system. So in turn, what it does is it slows down your heart rate and it lowers the blood pressure, and it can bring in that sense of calm. So when you're doing deep breathing, it's not just like taking a deep breath. So if you see me take a deep breath, you'll see my shoulders rise, right? That's our common like deep breath. But when you go into a deep breathing practice, you could actually put your hand on your chest and your other hand on your belly. And you're basically making sure that your belly is what's breathing through your diaphragm. So your belly is rising and not so much your chest or your shoulders. So you're keeping the upper part of your body straight, and your belly is the one that breathes. So it's you're breathing in a deeper level and into your diaphragm. And so what you're doing is you're relaxing your muscles, you're engaging your abs, and you're getting a larger amount of oxygen into your cells and your organs. Some people who are in a very spiritual practice, they know how to do that. That's just their new way of breathing. And until you practice it so much and you get on that level, it's not a bad thing to breathe through your chest. I mean, when you're exercising, that's how you breathe. When you're walking, that's how you breathe. When you're not thinking about your breath, that's how you breathe. But when you're doing breath work, which is the deeper breathing that I'm talking about, you can reach into a deeper state of mind. But when you do this breath work and you're concentrating on your breathing while you're in this state, you can actually access buried emotions, grudges, traumas. And a lot of times when you get to that place, it's like everybody has their own spiritual being. You know, for me, it's God. Some people it's Buddha. Some people it's their, the universe. Some people it's Mother Earth. You know what I mean? There's a lot of different spiritual beings, and that's okay. When you deep breathe and you get into this deeper state of mind, you can actually connect with your spiritual being. So you're connecting with yourself on a personal level, but sometimes when you're rid of that clutter in your head, you might get answers that you didn't know that you were going to get. So when you get into those deeper inner spiritual thoughts, we'll just say, you have to learn how to accept them and just don't attach to them. Accept it, bring it in, listen to it, and feel what emotion comes up. It might be relief. It might be being scared. It might be sad, so just accept it and learn from it. And what you might learn is just something different about yourself that you didn't know. So it's important to understand like the deep breathing and that connection that you're making with yourself. You'll notice that inner voice. And those are the intentions that you can set when you're doing deep breathing. Now, in our culture, in the Western culture, so deep breathing comes from Eastern practices and Eastern medicine, and in ancient times, actually, it's been around for a long time. But in the Western culture, we kind of bypass it very quickly because we live in like fear-based living, and we're taught to fight fear that we don't really understand. So we're constantly like in a battle in your head, trying to make the right choices, trying to make the right decisions, trying to be a better person or whatever it is that you're trying to do and trying to be. And so we resist the need to change, and we try to manipulate our experiences, and we try to be comfortable with the choices that we make. And when you do that, you bury emotions. And so often we try to like bury the emotions and try to find something that you're more acceptable with. So you make a choice and you're like, I made the choice, move on, right? That emotion is buried way back in your head. You don't sit with it. You don't rationalize with it. You just bury it. It's gone. So when those choices come up and you're on more of a deep breathing level and you need to make choices and you need to face consequences, The deep breathing will help you get into that better state of mind where you can hear something or feel something that makes a little bit more sense. Every single person on this planet has a purpose, and every single person on this planet has a path. And if you really believe in something happening for a reason, it happens for a reason. And you have to believe that on a deeper level. So everyone has a resilience. And so from time to time, when you experience stress or emotional upsets and challenges in your life, the resilience becomes very quickly because you just don't want to face fear. So that's what I mean when we live in a fear-based society. Deep breathing practices, you can actually return to balance and you can return to harmony, but you need to learn how to breathe through that. So basically, instead of sitting around and complaining and feeling sorry for ourselves, we basically look for opportunities out of those situations instead of focusing on the actual problem. So now breath work. So there's a few different of breath work that you can practice. The most simple one that you guys probably may have heard of if you follow breath work, or if you do yoga, or if you do anything like that where they say try breathing practices, but one of them is called the 4-7-8. So the 4-7-8, that is if you ever feel overwhelmed or anxious or angry or triggered, or you have trouble sleeping. And so this is a very traditional way. And the purpose is to empty your lungs of air. And then what you'll do is you breathe in through your nose for 4 seconds. And then you hold your breath for 7 seconds, and then you exhale for 8 seconds. And then you repeat that 4-7 times. So 4-7-8. It might be an easier one for you to remember. It's called box breathing. And this one is based on a box. If you figure 4-4-4-4. So what you're doing is you release the air from your chest, and then you hold you breathe in for 4 seconds and hold for 4 seconds, and then you breathe out for 4 seconds and you repeat it 4 times. So it's a 4-4-4-4. So if you think in the like the circumference of a box or whatever, so it's called box breathing. Now there's the alternative nostril breathing. This one is actually my absolute favorite one. So this is the alternative nose breathing. And this is what calms you down and helps you find like inner peace. So if you're a person that deals with chronic stress or anxiety, or if you don't feel grounded, or if there's something going on in your life that you really need answers to, and like a therapist can't get you there, the only person that can get you there is yourself, this is something that you might want to try. Also, if you have insomnia, this is really good for you. So alternative nose breathing is you can take whatever works for you, whether it's this or whatever. So, you can do it like this, whatever's comfortable for you. But basically what you'll do is you'll breathe in through one side of your nose and you just feel it. So you're coming like in a way where you're kind of coming up and then you're coming back down. And when you're breathing that, you almost focus on the energy. If you have your eyes closed, you just focus on the energy coming up and going down. So what you do is you close one side of your nostril, and then you would breathe in for about 6 seconds, and you go and hold it for about 4, and then you switch and you breathe out, and then you breathe it back in and you switch and breathe out. So you're kind of alternating where the breath goes. And so you're pulling the energy up. You can kind of like, if you wanted to, you can kind of picture it as like a string, pulling your breath up and then releasing. So you're breathing in like really good positivity, and you're breathing out like any negativity or anything you just want to get out of you. Just picture it like releasing. And eventually there's going to be nothing left but good positive energy, like full in your body. So soft belly breathing, it's super simple. Put your hand on your chest and put the other hand on your belly. And you're basically just going to relax. You can even close your eyes. But you want to release your belly almost like a Buddha, so your belly is just completely relaxed and sticking out, everything that we tried to hide all day long when you're holding it in. And that's why you're breathing through your chest. You're relaxing your belly, all of the muscles in your stomach, and already you're giving your digestive system a break. When you do this, you're actually giving your heart muscles a break. It's very good for you to relax your belly and your diaphragm. So you put your hand on your chest and the other hand on your belly. And when you breathe, you don't breathe through your chest like this. You would just keep watching your hand and making sure that your hand on your belly is the one that's moving up and down. And it's easier when you're laying down, by the way. So if you want to practice that, like at nighttime before you're falling asleep, it feels amazing.